Welcome on in, my Ashwings, to another installment of the Silver Age A to Z series. Today we are covering Briar, the Elemental Rune Blade, and honestly, probably one of the best decks in the entirety of the stage format. Briar is incredibly powerful just because she gets to utilize both Earth and Lightning talents, and also is, of course, one of the most pushed classes in the entirety of Flesh and Blood, a Rune Blade. So with Briar, there's a lot of text here, but effectively what you do on this hero is anytime an attack action hits, really, I apologize, that was the previous Briar. Briar, every time the first time an attack action hits, you get a embodiment of Earth token. What this means is that your non-attack actions block for one more. So if you do have non-attack actions, if they block for 2, they instead block for 3, so on and so forth, so long as you have that embodiment of Earth. But also, if you play 2 non-attack actions in a row, you get an embodiment of Lightning token, which just means that your next attack action gets Go Again. So Briar can both give her attacks Go Again and also provide quite a nice defensive capability. Some of her non-attack actions block for 4 if you have an embodiment of Earth up. So it is certainly a powerful form to have. And of course, just being a nice aggro deck, and of course kind of having more of an aggro style of game plan, she can really present a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the equipment suite. We have a Garland of Spring just to get us a resource, Blade Beckoner, Helm, and Boots just for defense, and then Mark of Lightning. This is kind of a way just for you to ping your opponent worth of damage. I like this as kind of like a flick knife, but for elemental attacks. So it is kind of fun. Is there ever a world in which this is like insanely useful and really disrupts your opponent? Not really, but it does change the fact that they don't want to go to 1. So it's all based on, how it ends up turning out. But Mark of Lightning, pretty good. Starfall, of course, is the weapon here because we do often play lightning cards. This is going to get Go Again and +1. So no reason to not play Starfall. Some people are in Nebula Blade. Some people are in Rotwood Reaper. It's a flavor thing. You can do whatever you want. You just can't play Rosetta Thorn. If you were playing Rosetta Thorn, this would certainly be the choice, but Starfall definitely gets the job done as far as a 1 cost, 2 power weapon with Go Again. So yeah. Then moving into the deck here, it's a lot of a mix of things, but it's mainly lightning cards, as you can see. Lightning cards and cards that have a 4 in their bottom left text. So we start with Arcane Seed's Life, one of the great Earth Runeblade actions that are in the game, and Briar gets to run it. So you can gain a life and then gain 2 rune chants off of it, and then also pair it up with another non-attack action to give something Go Again. Arcanic Shockwave, if you lightning fuse it, you can deal 1 arcane damage to your opponent and also have it come in for 4. Bramble Spark is just another non-attack action. If you have the opportunity to fuse it, it's pretty good. But even if you don't, it's still 1 arcane damage to your opponent and probably Go Again on your next attack. Shock Burn Up, this is your way to kill your opponent at 1. If they are, if they're at 1 life and you're playing Shock, if you just have it, you can just send it at them. Most are playing AB into you, so just rip a whole card from their hand. But I would suggest maybe just doing this on your own turn to get a Sigil of Lightning, or a Embodiment of Lightning. That's what you want. We are playing Electrify at 1. Electrify is crazy good. If you park this in Arsenal and then you play it, you not only draw a card to replace the card you pitched with, but also on top of it, you get a additional 3 damage the next time an attack action hits. So all your stuff's coming in for breakpoints, so it's going to be really easy to do that. It also is one of 2 non-attack actions you can get to then get an Embodiment of Lightning. We have Entwine Lightning, very good lightning fusion. It just gets Go Again. Flittering Charge, play non-attack action, or play an instant on this chain link, you get Go Again, but if you play 2 non-attack actions, it'll get Go Again anyway. Fry, 0 for 3 Go Again. Jack be Nimble, we are running Nimbleism, so when this comes through and you swing it and you have a Nimbleism in your grave, you get a 0 for 4 with Go Again that on hit you steal an item until the end of the action phase. The stealing an item isn't like the end of the world, but it is. It could be important, depending on what it is. We do have Lightning Press, of course, super good lightning card. This is an instant that you can just use to pump up anything. It does also make a lot of your cards poppers if you are going against a illusionist. So keep that in mind if you're trying to do some fancy shenanigans with that. Of course, Lightning Surge, park in an arsenal, it'll get go again. Nimblism, +3. Ravenous Rabble, 0-4, almost always, because you'll see all this is red. Scar for a Scar, 0-4. If you're at the back end, you just get to send a Scar for a Scar. Second Strike, if you dealt damage to your opponent, this gets 4 go again. Sizzle is a great way to pump up your attacks, your next lightning or elemental attack, just to make sure that it's constantly getting pushed. Snatch, of course, great chain ender is sending a Snatch because your opponent usually wants to keep you off arsenal. And if you can send a Snatch, it's super powerful. Also, this is the deck that you're able to play Snatch with Go again, because again, you can pump it. If you just like Nimblism, Snatch, it'll come in for 10 Go again on hit draw card. It's pretty good. Static Shock. When this hits a hero, if you played a lightning card this turn, you deal 1 arcane damage to them. So you want to play a lightning card during the turn. Weave Lightning, just a great way to pump up the next lightning or elemental attack. And if it's fused, it gets go again. So this is going to be a way for you to really, they're all fused, but like it'll give a way to give Arcanic Shockwave go again. Flourish, this is an earth action, so you're going to be able to utilize this with Bramble Spark. The next time an attack would gain power this turn, instead it gains that much +3. If it would gain +1, instead it gains +4. So in this scenario, if you play a Flourish, 2 Nimblisms, and a Snatch, this would instead gain +6, so it would be 6 Snatch for 16. Pretty good, gotta say. So not terrible, but of course that's like a really bad hand because it's just 1 attack, but it will get go again. So if you draw a card, you get to do another thing and send that. So not terrible. But Flourish is really great to pair up with any of these other pumps. Pairing it up with any of these like Burn Up Shocks and Arcane Seed's Life isn't that great. You kind of want to pair it up with things like Lightning Press or Nimblism or Sizzle, really, is another one there too. And then we look into the inventory here. We're on 2 Arcane Polarity because we really don't want to pitch to AB, but having more life there is really good. Evergreen, in case we want the game to go a little bit longer. Evergreen is just a great way for you to kind of cycle this back into your deck and have a way to send this at your opponent. It's also a popper, so you can utilize this as a popper. Sigil of Suffering, this is into those opponents, those aggro opponents that maybe need to go super wide. Playing Sigil of Suffering isn't terrible into this deck just because it's a 0-for-3 defense reaction that tries to deal 1 arcane damage to your opponent. I cannot tell you how many times people have died to Sigil of Suffering because it is just, your opponent's at 1, they attack you because they only have enough to send 1 attack at you. You play Sigil of Suffering. They don't have any floating, don't have AB, and they die to Sigil of Suffering. Very good. It's almost like Reckless Swing. Summerwood Shelter. This is probably used a little bit more into decks that are for things like Azalea or other Guardians, because this will allow you to kind of really just up your defenses. This is effectively just reinforce the line, but for Earth or Elemental action cards. I haven't tried using this one yet, and I think it probably is a little bit too defensive for a deck that wants to be super aggro, but who knows, right? We'll see. Crown of Dichotomy, just AB1 on the headpiece, and of course you can put a target Runeblade attack action card in non-attack action from your graveyard on top of your deck in any order. So if you're trying to go for the long game, you can put something like a Sizzle and a Sizzle and an Entwined Lightning back into your deck, just to kind of send more damage at your opponent for one later in the game. And then Null Rune Boots, just to cover a lot of those arcane barrier things. You're probably running the boots into most Rune Blades. You're probably running both of these into Wizards, and then you're just going to kind of try and kill them. So, yeah, but that's the deck. Let's go ahead and send Briar into the Talishar queue and see how it goes. All right, so our opponent here is a Kano. Very interesting stuff here. I mean, like running AB in here is kind of fine, but I also don't know that I care. I'm gonna run it just because they can't play this, right? Like they can't swing this damage at me. But we are gonna run copies of Arcane Polarity because that's kind of our like bread and butter for this one here. And I think we probably can take out. I mean, Arcane Seed's Life is really good here. I think we can maybe take out this. No, the Scar for Scars are going to be good too. Let's take out the. No. Gosh, what do I take out for this one here? Let's just take out the Bramble Sparks. Screw it. Send it. That'll be fine. So they're going first. That makes sense. Again, we're on AB2, so we can still filter here. They're pitching to Kano. They're pitching to Kano. They get an E-Pot. That's huge for them. It's crazy. Okay. Do they banish another card off the top? Okay, Reverberate. Let's just AB this. Yeah, let's AB this. Fry and this. Maybe not the Nimblism. I mean, what are the odds I don't draw into two other non-attack actions, right? So still AB2, not terrible. They do get to Reverberate. So they don't have anything else that's coming in here. Okay, well, me, I guess. We can do. It actually isn't. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I think we probably can just send. I mean, this is going to be a lot of damage sending at us. So we're going to Flourish. But we're going to try and send, like, I don't know. What is this? 15 at our opponent? Do that. Do that. Do that. 12? Yeah, that's like all their life. So they're going to take all that. Okay. Do they have lethal? I mean, I'll just send this. Okay, discard Twining. I mean, I'm going to get hurt for a lot here, but I don't know that it'll kill me. Okay, they're blocking 3. I see. We could have Mark of Lightning deal 1 damage. We will. No. No, we won't. Interestingly, they didn't block the 12 from the other one there, but and they let me draw up. Interesting. Exploding Aether. I see what they did this. Reverberate for 6. No, you don't have anything in your hand. We're gonna play Flourish again. We're gonna play Sizzle. We're going to play Fry. For 9, go again. You're going to give me your whole hand. You're probably popping Talismanic Lens and not actually blocking with it, I'd imagine. I probably could have just given Sizzle, because it could have been Sizzle, pay the Flourish into Starfall, because it would have been 6, 2, and 3. I guess technically I get the same value. 6, 2, 3. This is 9 and 3. 9 and 4, maybe. Okay, so they have to kill me here. Do you have AB1? So part of me thinks about putting Spell Void 1 in here. Just to have it. Okay, they get a Quickening. That does 2 damage. Not a lot. Cindering Foresight, that's not even a spell. So they're going to play the Cindering Foresight. They're going to opt. They're going to Kano, pitch. They're looking for an Emeritus off the top. That's what they're looking for. Spindle's not terrible. That's pretty good, actually. Spindle will deal 5, 6 if they pitch to Crucible. They can hold focus too to get an amp. They don't have, it's not their turn. I think that's why this is like kind of bad. I like it, but I think it's kind of bad because it is an action. So you have to, yeah, it has to be on your turn. You have another Cindering Foresight. Mm-hmm. They have another one. So 2, so you can pitch to send Aether Spindle. Now you can't block this, right? There's just no blocking this anymore. You can send Spindle. E6, you don't have any float. I might just take 6. Snapback. Aha. And then you don't have enough to send this, so. That's it. Good game. Really quick. It's just the whole 3 turns worth of a game here. But you'll see that's kind of the change here is that these games, while like your opponent's obviously sending a lot of damage and threatening quite a bit of your life, you're just able to send the biggest. I mean, like Fry for 9, Ravenous Rabble for 12. Like I don't know that it was right by them to not block the Ravenous Rabble because it was just. I mean, they were left with 3 life after my first attack, so probably not the best. But this does kind of show you a little bit about what the deck looks like. I mean, AB2 is still necessary into a wizard because they're not going to be attacking you in most cases with attack actions. So you don't want to have things that just block. So no AB doesn't make any sense. You still want to run AB. But in this scenario, we easily could have just sent. I think our line was fine here, right? We flourish, we sizzle. This gives +6 onto the next attack. So it's going to be Fry for 9. And then we send a second strike for 3. So 12 damage, as opposed to if I didn't use this and I instead pitched it, it would have been sizzle, give this 6, pitch Starfall for 2 into a second strike for 3, maybe 4. So that would have been 12 anyway. So just spread across different things, but had to have hit. So anyway, yeah, that is that's the thing. That's what we got going on here. So if you did enjoy today's episode of the Silver Age A to Z series, please make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about Briar. I know this was a pretty good indication of how she works. And unfortunately, Wizards are kind of missing a little bit of their kit right now, but hopefully that will change when Pen comes out. But of course, if you've had good things with Briar in the format, please make sure to let me know. I'd love to have a conversation with you about Briar. And then, as always, if you did enjoy today's episode, please make sure to go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. And as always, I do want to make sure to do a big shout out to our channel members. So thank you so much for our channel members for continuing to support the channel in the way that you do. It does mean a lot. If you wish to become a channel member, you can in the description below. There's a link on how to join and become a channel member. Channel members do get access to the live version of our podcast, the Common Language Podcast, that happens every Tuesday morning. So if you wanted to join us live there, that is specifically for members. But if you just want to watch the VOD or watch the podcast on its own, it'll come out the next day. So no worries. But I do appreciate you continuing to support me in the way that you do. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I hope you all continue to have fun in the flesh and blood. and I will see all of you beautiful Ashwings in our next installment of the A to Z Sage series.